since we've been talking about arrangement and sorting, that's the beginning of arrangement. Near at the end of arrangement, we have captured our ideas into a template, and we ask that our students de-sentence that template. That has been challenging. Camille, could you start us off talking about that?
Yes. Because this last step, this outline is I call it the diving board into the swimming pool of elocution. They need, the outline should be written in a particular way so that the elocution comes out to be a beautiful thing. And the way it needs to be written is in as few words as possible, each idea captured in few words. So and students will tend to write sentences there, copy that sentence from the Annie to the outline to the essay. And that's not the best sentence you could get. If you cut it down, that if you have the dog was barking in your outline, you put the dog was barking in your essay. That's just what we do. But if you put dog in your outline, then you get to the essay and you say, oh, that dog, I have to write a sentence about that dog. The ferocious dog barked at everyone who passed. So you get a much better sentence when you do that. So that's why we want to do it. And I found that a lot of students really struggle with this. And so I think the concept of a sentence is not really strong in their beings. And so we do this little exercise about, I tell them to think about an elephant. And then I ask them all, what were you thinking? And they all say, it was gray, it was in the jungle, it has big ears, it has a long trunk. So we see then that we cannot think about the elephant without thinking something about it. So every thought has something we're thinking about and then something about that thought. And we have labeled those, the subject that we think about and the thing that is predicated on that subject. So every sentence has a subject and a predicate. And so the students need to really get a lesson about that and then see that they need to, I think at least take off one of those from the outline. And then if they can make it even smaller, instead of saying the big elephant, they can just put elephant, and cut it even more, or ran away, just put ran. So I think that's some desentencing that they need to have some help with.
And so you've helped me see how desentencing my template impacts individual sentences and the possibilities that sentence could have in its expression. How does desentencing at the template level impact the paragraphs? Do you see that as well?
Good sentences build good paragraphs? You might see more the logical connections if you could just see one idea in 3 lines of what will become a paragraph. I don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time on that. What do you think? What are you thinking?
That's what I've experienced, is that the students, instead of having 3 separate sentences that are sentences and that are proper, that now that instead of looking at their template and seeing 3 separate sentences, copy pasting them into their essay, now they have 3 ideas, 3 remembrances, that when they are now writing them as sentences for the first time together, they are more connected.
That makes
and
sense.
Interrelated.
I love that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
And I haven't heard that before.
I haven't either.
That's a good one. What I sometimes see, aside from there is a lack of understanding of the subject and the predicate, or how to, find those keywords, there might not be the understanding there at first, but I also see some students have a fear, like they have this sentence in their mind, or they have many sentences, like the paper is already written and it's all in the outline because I've seen it.
Right.
And, but it comes from, for some, I think a place of fear, like this is what I want to say. That's exactly what I want to say. Yeah. So that idea of coming back to it, desentencing it, and when you start crafting your essay, coming back to it with fresh eyes, I think that takes time. I had a student, it took 2 years. 2 years, a very obedient student, a wonderful student, who did what I was asking to do, but not until the 3rd year we worked together, I could have celebrated. She said, when we were working on the first outline, she said, can I just use words in my outline?
She's thought for herself.
Yes, absolutely. And So that I don't have a resolution for that except practice and, assessing the outline and asking the student to do that if there's a lack of understanding. What I've been doing recently, because I'm experiencing this, I take a little chunk of their outline and say, this is a way that you could do it. This is all about Laura. So you could just say cried, ran away, feelings hurt. Because we know that whole part is about Laura, and that kind of example that may need to be done every essay cycle for that student.
For a while, yeah, until it's internalized. They just need to practice, and you need coach, and they practice and they get it. But yeah, if you have the subject as the group name, then all of the predicate, the three things you're saying about that subject, you don't have to, in the outline, then you don't have to repeat the subject over and over and over because it already says, anytime you look at an outline and it says Laura, 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 or all these different people and that 3 different people ran, that, then those words can be taken out.
And I want to make sure we don't confuse anybody here because I'm hearing 2 different words. I call it a template and I'm hearing outline. And so as adults, I want to make sure we're using them synonymously right now. You wanted to add to that, Camille?
Yes, because the template is the pattern. And when we fill it in with our own material, then we have an outline.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. I hadn't heard that distinction. That's great.
I hadn't either. I like to, when I present it to my students at first, I like to talk to them about where else have they used templates.
Right.
Some young ladies have seen the thin paper templates to make clothing. Yep. I've talked about the templates for birdhouses or rewiring things. Some of my boys have talked about that in CAD drawing templates. So
we have templates in Word documents and Pages documents, so you could choose the template for that invoice or the template for that company professional letter. Yeah.
Right. So we take the template and fill it in with all the numbers, and now we have an invoice.
Yes, it's no longer a template, and so we go from template to outline.
Yeah, we use that pattern, but then we put our material in it. Our material is what is our outline, or our dress, or our invoice. Yeah,
that's great.